Boris's worst nightmare come true as Starmer rise above as recent poll revealed Tories shamble state. Boris Johnson is facing a political nightmare, as a new poll has exposed a slump in Tory approval ratings. Labour has stormed ahead with an 8-point polling lead on the Conservatives. The poll, which was taken over a 3-week period from December 1, suggests that opposition leader Sir Keir Starmer would win a general election with a 26-seat majority. It also shows that Prime Minister Boris Johnson would lose his seat in Uxbridge and South Ruislip, which would make him the first sitting Prime Minister to be ejected from Parliament. The survey, which spoke to almost 25,000 people across all constituencies, showed 5 other cabinet ministers losing their seats, including Alok Sharma, the COP26 president, and George Eustice, the Environment Secretary. Labour would win 338 seats, while the Tories would be left with 237, which would be the lowest number since Michael Howard's failed bid to lead a Conservative victory against Tony Blair in 2005. The polling shows Labour winning 40% of the vote, while the Conservatives would win just 32%. In 2019, the Tories won 43.6% and Labour 32.1%. But despite Labour's success in the polling, it still showed the Scottish National Party, SNP, winning 48 out of the 59 seats. Justin Ibbott, chief executive of Focal Data who conducted the polling, said Sir Keir Starmer's success is a result of Conservative collapse rather than a resurgent Labour. Boris Johnson has overseen a seismic drop in Conservative Party support across all sections of society. It compares to 1997, when Blair took power. The big difference now is that Starmer isn't seen as a leader in waiting. Indeed, that Labour performs so well in this MRP poll is more due to Conservative collapse than a resurgent Labour. This comes in the wake of the difficult few weeks for Mr Johnson's government, which has been rocked by a series of scandals, including a number of reports about Christmas parties in Downing Street while most of the country was in lockdown. Images also emerged of Boris Johnson with wine and cheese alongside his wife and up to 17 staff in the Downing Street garden during lockdown last summer, which appears to have been in breach of the rules, despite Number 10's insistence that a work meeting was taking place. Mr Johnson also faced the largest rebellion of his premiership, when 99 Tory MPs voted against the government on the issue of vaccine passports earlier this month. This came after the Tories lost a by-election in North Shropshire to the Liberal Democrats, after holding the seat for more than 200 years. Winner Helen Morgan overturned a Tory majority of almost 23,000, declaring that the Conservative Party is over. This isn't the first hit Mr Johnson has taken in the polls in recent weeks. A poll conducted earlier in December put Sir Keir Starmer 13 points ahead of Boris Johnson in a poll which asked respondents who they would prefer as Prime Minister. On another news, experts claimed that Boris Johnson would lose his own seat at a snap general election, according to a poll revealed today. The Prime Minister would be ousted from his Uxbridge and South Ruislip constituency in an unprecedented dumping of a sitting PM, according to a recent political study. The Conservative leader has a relatively fragile 7,210 majority in the North West London seat, and is vulnerable as the capital's voters increasingly switch to Labour. The survey, using the controversial MRP, multi-level regression and post-stratification, method with constituency-by-constituency research, gave Labour an 8-point advantage on 40% and the Tories on 32%. If replicated at the next election, Labour would win 338 seats and the Conservatives 237, giving Keir Starmer an outright, albeit narrow, majority of 26. That would enable Labour to govern without support from other parties such as the Scottish Nationalists and the Lib Dems. The study suggests Labour could quickly rebuild its red wall. Dozens of constituencies across the North and Midlands which switched to the Tories at the 2019 election, fueled by a desire to get Brexit done and deny Mr Starmer's predecessor Jeremy Corbyn the keys to Number 10.